What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another video. So, a question that I received recently came to me as a bit of a surprise, but at the same time, it made kind of sense. And that was, student, what have you bought to invest for the next expansion, right? And it feels like we just got Dragonflight, but at the same time, things move faster than you think they do, and you usually make the best deals by being early in on an investment, especially if you plan on investing in anything that's current content right now. So a lot of you guys probably recall my video on like the Shadowlands cosmetic items as an example of something that has just skyrocketed in price, because back then everyone was doing like Seraph Mortis and Corphia, and it got to a point where people just vendored epic cosmetic items because they weren't really selling for a lot of gold on the auction house. And the same thing with like just basic transmog blues and green items from the expansion, battle pets, just things that's in massive supply when it's current content, but then you just need to wait for a new expansion and everyone is sick and tired of the previous expansion, and you bet your ass that no one is going to be farming these. So every single time we get a new expansion, I always put my thoughts on what I'm investing in with examples into the 0 to 10 million gold guide. So if you don't have that already, make sure you use the discount code Dragonflight, and you'll get it for 50% off. So it's like 170 plus pages with the best gold making methods that I personally use. But I also constantly update it with things like investments whenever there's a new patch or even a new expansion. I just keep on updating this very exact book. So if you get it today, 5 years from now, you will still have a book that's constantly getting updated free of charge. So make sure to check that out down below with a link. So I'm not going to give you guys any like direct ideas like buy this, it's going to go up, because if everyone buys it, everyone that watches this video, it's obviously not going to be a good investment. But I'm going to show you guys some examples, historical examples of what has worked in the past that has every chance of being a good investment in the future as well. So one thing you can do is, if you, for instance, go to weapons and then you just search in the auction house, but you search by item level, right? And you can, for instance, mark rare items only. And that way, when you sort by item level, you will get the item level 1 cosmetic item. So right now, there is a ton of Dragonflight cosmetic items that's really cheap. Like something like the Tuskar Angler's Crossbow, a unique appearance never seen in the game before, that was introduced in Dragonflight. Now, these are not super easy to get. Like, we've done this in a 2x4 farm, and there was a bunch of us who didn't get any of the relatively new Tuskar transmog items or cosmetic items. So a lot of Dragonflight cosmetic items will definitely go up in value, just because whenever a new expansion comes, not only does the demand for these items go up because there's more people playing the game, but also the supply goes drastically down. So you just have less competition, higher prices, but more people interested in actually buying the item. So cosmetic items is a no-brainer. And then you, of course, have current content battle pets that will have a way lower supply when the next expansion comes around, and once again higher demand because there's more people playing whenever a new expansion hits. And then you have like certain specific items, like you have the magma shells, the empty magma shell, which you need for the mount. I mean, I sold these for an average price of 6.2k. They're 400 gold now. That being said, yes, they will of course be relatively easy to farm in the next expansion because you'll kill the mobs fast, but you're killing the mobs fast right now anyways. And the way that people farm these is that they go to the zone, kill all the snails, and then there's a bunch of people currently doing like content in the zone, so they can easily server hop and just get a bunch of freshly spawned snails. So you can farm these way more efficiently now, guaranteed, than you will be able to in the next expansion when no one is playing in the zone and you have to constantly wait for respawn on the shells. And there's just going to be less people doing them, more people wanting them if they don't already have the mount. So that's another example of items that's good. Another thing is that has been proven over and over again with something like Nasiatar and especially Seraph Mortis. Every time when Blizzard do like new zones in later patches, they typically add a new set of gray, white, and green items, and these tend to have a unique appearance. So just browsing the auction house for just what seems like basic green items from Dragonflight, but as long as they don't share appearance with a bunch of other items, I can guarantee you that if you buy him, hold on to him, and sell him in the next expansion, you're going to get the same effect as we had in Shadowlands and in also in BFA with Nasiatar, that the prices just skyrocket. So that's some of my ideas when it comes to collectibles for the next expansion, and I've already started to buy these right now because they're really cheap. And then you have what I do pretty much every single time we get a new expansion is invest in old content materials when they're low, especially right now when you can get stuff like Arcanite for what is it, 70 gold because it's being bought. You can get Spirit of Harmony for like 50 gold each. These are materials that ever since Transmog was introduced, they've been selling like hotcakes all the time. But what happens is that the bots usually do current content, they don't do old content, and the ones that do, they tend to get banned eventually. It takes ages, but eventually they do. Prices go up, a new expansion comes out, and nobody is going to be messing around in the old expansion. They're going to be in the current expansion making the big gold, but there's still going to be a lot of people wanting to purchase these materials to craft transmog and mounts and whatnot. So that is something that I always buy. But I always have ice in my stomach. Like I don't sell it unless I make a decent profit, because they can seem to be fairly low even when the expansion ends. But you kind of have to wait until the supply drops off. You gotta wait for the newcomers to drop all their materials, because they don't have the patience and they panic and they sell off all their mats. And once those people have sold out their stock, that's when I strike in and I post it and sell it for a pretty decent profit. So hopefully this was of some help. I wanted to make a video on this relatively early so you guys can cook up some ideas yourself, make some investments. And then, of course, I mean, when the next expansion is announced and we know the date and so on, I'm going to go more in details of what I'm investing in specifically. But by that time, I've probably already bought all the items though, all the cheap ones, snatching all the good deals. But yeah, make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel and you'll be notified whenever those videos goes up. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve, you can always take a look at the VIP Discord that's linked down below, together with the 0 to 10 million gold guide. Appreciate you guys watching the video as always, and I will see you all back in at the next one. But until then, bye bye.